interception. We don't know so.
What a remarkable drive, man. That's an All-American drive right here.
It's not exactly unwarranted. Like, when you have a guy that's that electric.
The legend himself, the GOAT, Dre Crowell.
Where my warm bottle movement at?
That kills your argument right there. Anything can happen. This game is not over. What's good, Relocation Football League fans? It's your boy Smitty here with, of course, Bill and Rob for the weekly RFL podcast. For those who are new, it's always 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays. And as always, we're going to recap what happened just this past week. We're going to talk about the upcoming schedules, who you should take in bets, which closes at midnight tonight. We'll look at the new Madden top 10 power rankings of the RFL. And, of course, we got some big news, of course, coming for you guys for the RFL. And, of course, you see some information on some merch. So let's first start talking about the first game of the week. Really kicked off the week with a bang, man. First time in Aviators history that they were able to defeat the Cougars. And, man, it was a fight all the way through. Marquise Washington, Gino Gannon going at it. And it was everything we expected it to be. A battle all the way down to the wire. Marquise and the Aviators coming out on top by one. Final score, 32-31.
And then right before I start here, guys, I played back last week, and I was listening to the podcast, and I heard that my mic was a little weird last week. And I just want guys to let me know if it sounds good on your end, because I don't like that at all. So if you guys just let me know if I'm sounding clear, if I'm sounding weird, just let me know in the chat. Hopefully I can get it fixed if it is, but hopefully we're good. Anyway, let's get into this breakdown here. So, yeah, man, Aviators and Cougars, this was a battle right here. And, you know, it was two top flight rookies, divisional matchup, first one in the pros anyway between these two. And it didn't disappoint, like you said, man. They just went toe to toe for 4 quarters, and neither could do anything wrong, it seemed. You know, Marquise couldn't miss, Gannon couldn't miss. The both of the run games were there, offensive production through the roof. Neither defenses really got a whole lot done, but that's sort of been the story so far this season. Man, I was watching the game again, and I pinpointed what I thought was like the biggest play of the game, and it came down on the last drive the Cougars had. It looked like they were driving, and Gannon dropped back. I don't know the number or the name, but I know his number 15. I'm sure Rob knows him because obviously he's
Tavon Bryson.
Bryson, thank you. And he hit him on this drag route, and he turns upfield, and the King Armstrong just pops him enough to shove him out of bounds, forcing the 4th down, which led to the punt. And, at the time, the Cougars were like, man, we'll just get the ball back. We'll do something else. There's still 3-something left. We got timeouts. But, man, the Aviators just ran and ran and ran until that clock was gone. And it was that play sealed that game, the way these two teams were scoring. So that it was an amazing win for the Aviators. Like you said, a huge upset. And the first time they were able to do it. And just overall an amazing game.
And before you go ahead, Rob, I want to give a shout out to Coach Back for the $10 donation and CP for the $5 donation. Reload Gang, he says, kicking off lightly. And then, Rob, I guess I'll let you answer this. 2-0, Coach Back says, respect, Rob.
He just has to go ahead and put his little 2-0 out there and everything. I got to keep it real. I don't care about your little $10. Nah, man. Hey, I keep it real, man. I got to give a bell to the Cougars, man. Go ahead, put it up, man. Put a bell up. First of all, losing to this team that you absolutely mopped the floor with last season. Mix did not respect Marquise Washington's G, man. Have to give a bell for Mix, man, because I talked an awful lot about this game here. I was ready to come out here and destroy Marquise Washington and everything, and that just wasn't the case. But, hey, you guys know how I keep it, man. I got to always be 100% with my Cougars and everything, man. With that said, I got to give a third bell to the Cougars, too, man, for the defense. Terrible defensive performance here this week. I know what I did wrong, and hopefully I'm not making that same mistake going forward with the Miners coming up this week. But anyway, I'm going to get into this real quick. It was a great game otherwise. Really loved what I saw out of the Aviators. Marquise Washington, man, God, this guy's a machine, man. It's funny while you're looking at him, coaches, but it's not going to be funny when you're playing him. So make sure you prepare for that. Kingston Kenny, always a beast. He actually, wasn't doing too well earlier on. But as Marquise Washington started to kind of find his groove with these Cougars, man, start stroking that Cougar fur, a little bit, man. You know what I mean? He started opening up the holes for Kingston Kenny, man. He did exactly what I have never wanted him to do and what I've always tried to stop. So this team, man, this team is awesome. Another bell, too, I forgot to give to the Cougars. One more bell, man. I got destroyed by a fourth-string wide receiver, man, and I'm not proud about that at all.
I was going to ask who that guy was.
Really, yeah, fourth string. This guy Pearson right here pierced that Cougar fur, man. So rest in peace to the Cougars for that. Gino, you looked great. Denard Locker, you looked great. Tavon Bryson, you looked okay at times. Hey, they phased us out. They phased Henderson out. They phased London Lions out for the most part. Good job by their DBs. Those guys are young and getting better. Clear difference this year with those DBs. So I gotta respect those DBs. And just hats off to some of my defensive guys. They did okay, but as a unit, man, we sucked this week. And I'm just hoping that we get back to regular form. Last week we sucked, and I'm hoping we get back to regular form this week. There, I bailed myself, so y'all cannot say that Mix is biased.
R.I.P. to the people who thinks Mix is biased. But shout out to Darius Hodge for the $20 donation. Says, somebody say Reload Gang? With the question mark. Appreciate it, my guy.
Reload Gang. I got to shout that out too, man. 2 weeks in a row. Reload Gang has been ridiculous, man. A couple of Cougars had the luck of getting that first game, man, but you guys have been awesome. Shout out to you guys, man. It was a great experience.
Yeah, we're starting a whole new movement now with this whole Reload Gang thing. I like it.
Yeah, shout out to you guys, man. Much appreciated. My breakdown of this game, like I said before, it was everything we expected it to be between these two rookie quarterbacks, finally meeting each other in the pros, and it just adds to this storyline. When you really think about this 2-year hiatus wait of this storyline between Marquise Washington and Geno Gannon. We already know the whole situation. Not going to go through the entire story. But the last time these two guys faced off was in college, and it was in week 5, and Marquise Washington just fell short of beating Geno Gannon and his former team with a last-minute play that was marked out of bounds as he tried to pass it to his wide receiver, Cleveland. And, the final score at the end of that game ended up being 23-30. The guys get drafted. Marquise Washington, I guess, got the dub by being drafted first. Geno Gannon following immediately afterwards. And, of course, we know the story. Geno Gannon going to a great team, already had the weapons. Aviators got some great weapons too. The wide receivers were the question mark, though, on how well they will be able to perform with Marquise Washington. But you could see in these past 2 weeks, especially against a great defense like the Cougars, managed to get those guys going. And those guys, those veteran receivers, those short veteran receivers at that, really stepped up. They made a lot of big contested catches. And I think if it wasn't for those big plays and catches that they were making, they would not have been able to keep up with the Cougars despite, the success they had driving and everything else. I really feel that, the reason why this story is so great is because, this is the first time the Aviators ever beat the Cougars. For guys who don't know, this was the first ever game in the RFL. In RFL history, it was the Aviators versus Cougars. And the Cougars absolutely smacked the Aviators in the first ever RFL game, put up over 50 points. And, just never beat them. Went to the playoffs. The last time the Aviators went to the playoffs, who they play? They played the Cougars in the first rounds. Cougars were actually the underdogs in that, and they ended up smacking them going to the next round of the playoffs, going all the way to the ARC Conference Championship, and, they've been there ever since. And so, for Marquise Washington to come in, great battle between him and Geno Gannon going head-to-head, and just come out on top, that just builds up the storyline for both these teams and these quarterbacks, man. So I was just very impressed. That's pretty much all I had to say about that. Hey, really enjoyed watching that game.
Got to get a fans, though, man. Gannon had 7 rushes, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns for the chat. You guys were asking that.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, the stellar performance. Just if you're looking at these statistics of Geno Gannon, okay, passing-wise may not be a lot, but that's the reason why I didn't throw a lot. He was definitely making it happen on the ground. So 3 total touchdowns for him, 3 touchdowns for Marquise Washington. This is 2 weeks in a row that these guys pretty much had the same identical stats. It's crazy. And then just looking at the overall performance and the amount of passes that they missed combined, only 5 passes. Only 5 passes missed between these two rookies, man. Big reason on why they were such big-name guys coming into the league. Good thing that we got this performance. Can't wait to see the next matchup between these two later on this season. Moving on to the next game we had. This is pretty much upset city. This won't be the only one. Jeez. Bills team fell to the Diablos, and, man, Aaron Pritchett was absolutely on fire, looking like vintage Pritchett out there. The Pritchett connection was crazy, but he was just hitting on everyone. And the Diablos were able to come out on top 40-30 with Coach Forbes getting his first RFL win.
And that's what I want to say. First things first, hats off to Coach Forbes and congrats on your first real win. Because preseason just isn't really the same. I'm not sure if you had a preseason game, but it's nothing like, getting your first real season win. And a little fun fact, I think I might have said this last week during the podcast, or maybe it was in the chat, but when I first joined the RFL, my first RFL game versus another coach was actually, I don't know if you remember this, was the Diablos.
Mm-hmm.
And I beat them. That was my first game. So I just thought it was really cool how now the Diablos coach comes in. His first RFL game is against me. And, well, we know what happened, man. But so hats off to Forbes and the Diablos. I know that it's been a long time coming for that team. But, man, they attacked the secondary great. As you said, Pritchett was lights out. He couldn't miss. And, the defense just had no answers. And Henry Dockett, what are you doing, man? RIP to that guy. I mean, I don't know what he was doing out there. He's too busy trying to mess with that fro he's got this year with the new Madden faces, and he couldn't cover for nothing. But the offense was great. The defense, as the coach of the Explorers, I don't know what happened, man. I've run this defense probably 100 times, and I have never given up that many points. So we're going to try to work on it. Hopefully we can figure it out. That is not Explorers defense. That is not Explorers football. But Diablos did a heck of a job, and we're on it next week. And yeah, great win for Mexico City, man.
And shout out to DTR9 for the $25 donation, and of course Jacob McCall with the $5. He says Explorers will bounce back. # Explore Gang. So there you go. Got a little fan bill. But also before hopping this, forgot to even mention about Latavian Worrell getting injured. Don't have that as a topic or anything, but how are you feeling about that situation to discuss here live?
Well, obviously it's not an ideal situation. We're a team that's pretty much primed to win now, and not that I don't trust the guys we have, but we don't have a Latavian Worrell on the bench, and we're in a position, where we're going to roll with who we got, so we're just going to have to deal with it, roll with the punches, adjust, and hope that we come back out with a solid game plan. We went through this last year with CJ when he went down for, I think it was 10 weeks. A little different when it's a quarterback.
Yeah. Still long time.
Yeah, a little different than with a quarterback. But, like I said on Instagram today and what I said last week, Cunningham is the guy. He had a rough game, but this game plan was not meant for him. And if you guys know Madden, you know that different quarterbacks do different things. And he had to play, and he wasn't ready. So we're hoping that next week is a little different. But Cunningham's going to be the guy until he proves otherwise. And then it's Bradley's shot. And if that doesn't work, then we'll go somewhere else. But we will be working with what we got in-house, and we're just hoping that Worrell gets back soon and can pick up where we left off.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm trying to decide or trying to remember if this game was a lot further separated. Or
Yes,
if the Explorers
it
were.
was.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So
Bradley had some garbage time
Yeah.
touchdowns, and everybody thought he was better.
Yeah. And Bill and I are not. This is just a news flash. People don't know. Bill and I are very, very good friends here in the league, and we work a lot. We talk an awful lot, just about the league. But one thing we do is we keep it real with each other. So, I don't want you guys to think that we're going back here. We're stroking each other's backs and everything back here. You know what I mean? He knows this was like a terrible game, and I'm going to keep it real right now. The Diablos came out here and had a game plan going, and they executed their game plan. And you can just see, if you just look at the stats, right? You can just see by these stats here. That Pritchett was on his job. If you watch the game, he was on his job with the 4 touchdowns. Madison Axel just looked like a freak out of nowhere. He was doing his thing, and this Williams character was getting it all in. Obviously, the play of Worrell, which Bill knows, his play has been very spotty. He's talked about this on and off for multiple months now, and he knows that that's something that he's trying to figure out here. He doesn't know if he's going with Cunningham. He talked a little bit about the other guy, Bradley, some. He's talked about maybe even drafting a quarterback. Chill, McCall. Chill.
McCall wants that jersey.
Yeah. But, so he knows that, this is not the level, the caliber of the Explorers, and any day you see, and what I feel bad for with Bill is because, like, I watch Bill, like, put a lot into his team, like more than you think. Like some people just think this is just logging in, right, and hanging around and setting setting your training, you know what I'm saying, and then leaving for 5 days, right? No, I watch Bill every night, you know, like really try to get his team going. And I've seen him say, man, how can I get CJ going? How can I get CJ going? And then I see CJ with probably the best game that we've seen in months out of this guy, right?
Yeah.
Am I 12 receptions, 237, 1 touchdown? You know, I know he had the little late one, but
all time for the most yards in a single game.
Right. And it's like, man, the moment that greatness happens to him, his quarterback goes down. You know what I mean? You know, and so y'all, like, I'm really giving y'all some real right here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the Explorers are in a very delicate situation, and they got to figure this thing out now because they got a whole season to play. And try to put pressure on my guy Bill, but there's a lot of high-profile quarterbacks out there that my guy might think about picking up, man. Maybe some of y'all fans can say, hey, Bill, there's a few guys out there still. But anyway, I'm going to pass the mic to Smitty real quick, man. My bad.
All good. But yeah, nothing really too much to say about it. You know, of course, I got to throw my own little bell out there to the Explorers defense. Like Bill said, you know, we already know that, you know, we've never seen the Explorers defense play like this. Never seen them get exposed like this. But then at the same time, you know, you can't be too surprised at the performance of Aaron Pritchett. He just seems to do this against defense. It was a lot more than usual given up, though, so that's the reason why they get the bell. And then you also got those surprise performances. Not really too much of a surprise. We knew Madison Axel was going to be a beast, you know, developing, you know, later on. But right after a game like that against a really good defense, you know, that says a lot. You know, they got a really great offense. We knew they've had a ton of talent on the offensive side of the ball. As a team, as a unit, we know that, like, we were talking about how this team pretty much got drove into the ground and in a situation where money's going to be tight and talent's going to start fizzling out due to, you know, prior ownership of other coaches before Coach Forbes got there. And, you know, they still have some of those pieces. And you got to see some of those pieces, you know, really come out there and making an impact. You know, we think about Rashad Williams. You know, I know most people don't know anything about him, but, you know, this was a guy due to prior, you know, coaching was not even on the field. You know, it just never got to touch the field. He was a backup due to all the talent they brought in. And you can see most of those talented wide receivers that were ahead of him is gone now. Now he's the main guy. And you can see he's always had this talent. Originally was drafted for the Tigers. And I believe that was in the first ever RFL draft. And Williams, you know, just going off. And Pritchett just doing what he does best, man. And, you know, of course, things, I believe, just got worse also for the Explorers due to the quarterback injury. You know, we saw how bad the offense was struggling without, you know, their playmaker, Worrell. You know, so without him there, you know, Jared Cunningham, you saw him have a bad game. But just like Bill says, when you have a different scheme and you have a different style of quarterback, you know, they're just not going to play the same. And you really got to see that. In that game, Bradley got to play better, which I'm assuming was just better in that scheme at the time. And we've already heard it from Bill's mouth who he's going with for at least for now. So yeah, that's all I really got to say about that. You about to say anything, Bill? Because I heard you tap.
No. I'm just okay. I had some background noise, so it finally went away.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, so let's move on to the next game. Huge shocker game. Upset week continues. Let's play the bell here for the Miners early because I don't think anyone was expecting this type of outcome. The Miners were able to pull off an upset win last week against the Bulls, and then they come in here. They face the Bisons, a team that only won one game last season. That was in rebuild mode. And it says right now that the Bisons are 1-1. I think that might be incorrect if I'm not mistaken. But 45-10 final score, and Devin Hobart having himself one heck of a day. What did you guys say about this?
Oh man, I was so caught off guard by this game that I didn't even know what to put down. To be honest, like it was just an upset. I didn't see the Miners are a very solid team. We've seen that. And, you know, not like it's, you know, with the Celtic Tigers or anybody, but they're a very good team. And to see them go down in this fashion to the Bisons and I'm not trying to knock on the Bisons here, but we all know that the Bisons need some work yet. They're still rebuilding. They're still trying to figure themselves out, I think. Yes, they have veterans, but they've had to, you know, retool quite a bit, and they're still in that process. And to see that all come together like this was crazy. You know, Devin Hobart was just in charge. 400 something yards, 4 touchdowns. Yeah, he had 2 picks, but I mean, it was a lights out performance, I think, from Hobart. The defense for the Bisons, man, was swarming. with Chumlee. He had nowhere to go, and they were getting after sack, the interceptions. It was a great game plan for the Bison's defense, and it just turned into a one-sided affair for them quickly. So huge upset win for the Bisons, man, and this is a tough one to take for the Miners, and there's no way about it.
Yeah, man. I was about to call him Bell Lee, man, because boy, he just didn't get it done here, man. New team. This is just a totally new team against the Bisons. It wasn't the same team after the upset over the Brooklyn Bulls. Yeah. Like, you upset the Bulls and then you come in here and get smacked by the Bisons. This is just I didn't get it, man. Just like no touchdowns no offensive touchdowns this game. You couldn't keep them out of the end zone against Brooklyn. How is that? I don't know, man. But the stalled drives, the 3 and outs, just a completely lost team. I wasn't expecting this at all. I'm not saying that I was expecting the Bisons to fall over easily, but I wasn't expecting the Miners, to look like this here. I just had to just straight get into the honorable mentions though, man. Riley Bach, Rainey Howell, Irvin Chisholm, let's see, Lober, there was Javon Payne. There's a lot of guys, man, getting a lot of pressure on Chum. And it just kind of shutting down passing lanes for him, making them look kind of, awkward at times. It was just a really odd game, man. Secondary, man, that secondary just shut it down. Just, took away options for him from Chumlee. And so yeah, man, I thought this was a really great game by the Bisons. Really was happy to see them get going. Hobart's been the subject of a lot of scrutiny by the RFL community and all the Torres stands who want Torres to just be the guy. And I understand that because he is the next man up. But man, Hobart was the veteran today, or that day, I'm sorry. With the 416 and the 4 touchdowns, obviously, and a big day by Jay Morris, man. I was happy to see him approach that 100 yards. I know he's probably happy about this win here, a blowout, and you get close to 100 yards on the ground. You look like an actual halfback with a touchdown. So, man, huge day for the Bison. Salute to them.
Yeah, nothing really too much to say about this. It's a very shocking victory. I mean, not surprised that the Bisons won. I mean, the Bisons have always been a competitive team. You never know with them when they're on, but we just did not expect this type of outcome. And Devin Hobart, like you said, Bill, couldn't have said it. Rob couldn't have said it any better, with the scrutiny and everything surrounding Devin Hobart. But, he just put a great display, especially during the preseason. He was on in his first RFL game. He comes out here and he gets it done. It's a great win here for the Bisons. Really nothing to say. Just their defense stepped up on a whole nother level. Chumlee just was not ready for it, could not throw no touchdowns. There was no offensive touchdowns, as you mentioned, 2 interceptions. The only bright spot I could see out of that game for them was Damani Manuel touching the football. But other than that, I mean, just wasn't anything going. Great win by the Bisons, and that's all I really got to say about that one there. But moving on to the next game, another upset. I'm a bell the Shamrocks early right now, and the main reason why is because we were looking at the Monarchs as a team that probably was not going to get a single win at all this season. Yeah. Not at all. Last week they got beat down on by the Lancers, but they still looked like they were a bit impressive. Hung for about 3 quarters, as we talked about last week. This week they hung the entire game and came out on top with the W, knocking off the Shamrocks, who are out to a shaky start so far this season at 0-2, beating them 29-24.
Yep, man. That's what I said. Like I said last week, it looked like a bad game, but I thought the Monarchs played really well down the stretch, or up until the last bit of the game against the Lancers. And this week, man, they come out and, division rivalry, they get the win over Tom Wilson, and it's, man, I like you said, I didn't see them winning a game this year. Like, no offense, Coach Cam, but like you got a lot of work to do, and we all know that. But it is a great defensive performance, I thought, by London, not allowing any of the main weapons to really get loose in the game, and then some seriously poised and surprisingly good play from Preston Schrader. Yeah. Yes, he had an interception, but 32 of 44, 372, and 3 touchdowns. Are you kidding me? What the heck was that? I've never seen it. I didn't think I would see that out of him.
Performance for once.
It was, yeah. I should apologize to him if he does it another week in a row. But And the one thing that I would like to say though is the Shamrocks right now are in a tough spot. Yes, the Monarchs got a big win. That's huge for Coach Cam. It's huge for the Monarchs. They've already tied their winning from last year, if I'm not mistaken. They only had one win last year in the RFL.
Mm-hmm.
So they already tied that. They can't do any worse than last year. And the Shamrocks now, after losing that shootout last week, even though they had a big game with the Condors, and now they fall to this one. You could see Wilson on the sidelines at the end of the game, and he was peeved. I don't know if you guys caught that, but he was not happy. He was throwing stuff on the sideline and very, very, very visibly upset. But I think that's good. I think the Shamrocks need that. I think Tom Wilson angry. I think they need to come out with a vengeance next week and get this thing back on the road. How many years in a row though are we going to see this out of the Shamrocks and just decide that they're not as good as we thought they were? Because every year I seem to be up here saying the Shamrocks are a pretty solid team. They're a pretty solid team, but yet the same time every year we're always like, man, they just can't put it together. They just can't do it. They just can't be consistent. And here we are again. This is my third season, and still the same thing. They have the talent, but they just never seem to be able to put it together. And here it just showed through really badly with now a loss to the Monarchs. And I just hope they can turn it around because there's a lot of guys on that team that are better than what the team is showing them that they are. And if they find a way to be consistent, this can be a very, very, very good team. But right now they're in a rough spot.
Yeah, man. Boy, this just feels like a whole lot of L's for the Shamrocks right here. It's just the bad news. You're 0-2. Hey, the good news. There's good news in this though, Smitty. You know what the good news is?
Wilson?
The good news, yeah, Wilson. He started running again. Hey, oh boy. So we fixed that right there. But he had no production, man. No production. And man, he's back to running, back to scrambling. He's gonna be running all over you, fellas. So go ahead and plan accordingly. But as far as touchdowns go, man, what do you have? One touchdown or something like that?
Yeah,
one touchdown.
One through the air.
One through the
Can't remember
air.
if he rushed on the ground, but I mean, he was pretty efficient. I think he played well.
Yeah, we played decent, but he didn't. So it's like this. He had better percentage, right? This week here, with less production. Last week he had slightly lower percentage passing with more touchdowns, right? So he stayed in the pocket and he had 3 touchdowns. He left the pocket and he had no touchdowns, but one. Passing. I don't think was that a rushing touchdown or a passing touchdown?
That's a passing.
That's a passing right there. Okay, so you had that one, but other than that, he did look good on the ground and everything. Monarchs just played a really good game here in what they call the International Series, and I just thought that London really played their hearts out. Having that lead, taking this thing into the fourth quarter, getting the lead, by 6 points as they had it, holding on, playing defense. Despite the low expectations that the league has really for the Monarchs and Coach Cam, who's just trying his best, to do what they can. They get a win early this season, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they didn't win it. They won one game last year, right?
Yep, man. It was the
week
last
17.
game of the
Against
season
the
against the
Lancers.
Lancers.
Yeah. And hey, they knock off the Shamrocks here in the first part of the season. So hey, man, they gotta feel good. They gotta feel some real good right now. What is that? 2-1 in the last 3 games, I guess that would be, or whatever it is. So yeah. So they gotta feel real good about the process right here. And that's all I had to say about that one.
Yeah, nothing really too much to say about this except just being utterly impressed by the performance by Preston Schrader. He has shown, from time to time, the ability to be a decent quarterback. But just like Bill said, we need to see if there's consistency because I'm not quite sure on, right now saying, okay, he's a franchise guy, keep building with him. We know he's still pretty young, but, here in I believe this is his 3rd year in the league. So here in his 3rd year with the Monarchs, if he could keep this performance going up throughout the year, that would be great. And it's also great that he got help from the run game with Donovan Rhodes. 26 carries, 140 yards. Didn't get to see the end zone, but because of that run game, because of Schrader being on this game too, we already know they had great receivers. There's no reason for Schroeder to really play too bad. He's got the weapons out there. They're going to get open. He's just got to hit them. But if he can do that, and Rhodes can continue to run like this, I think the Monarchs can be competitive this year, and it's definitely about that defense, what that defense could do. The defense still got a question mark, but they were able to hold the Shamrocks to less points than them, so I guess just got the job done enough, and so that's pretty much all I got to say about that. Great win for Coach Cam and London. Next game, we had the lowest scoring game of the week. Barons taking on the Tigers, a divisional game right here. And literally, this game was won off of pick six. Defenses shut it down, and the Barons were just barely able to win this one 17-10, the second week in a row that the Tigers have really put on a show.
Yeah, this one I didn't have much down just because it's a low scoring game, and it's a sloppy, rain filled, low scoring game where in a game like this, your defense is going to be the deciding factor. Your offense is going to be sloppy. There's going to be mistakes made. Receivers are going to miss their routes. Quarterbacks are going to throw a bad ball. Things are going to happen. It's a sloppy game, but and like I said, it comes down to your defense. Who is going to make the opposing team make more mistakes, or who is going to capitalize on a mistake? And the Barons did just that. It was 10-10, and the Barons made a play on the ball defensively for the pick six and just never looked back. I think there was another interception from for the Barons after that just sort of sealed the game. No scores, but that's really all you can put down. It was a very sloppy game. That's all I can really say. And you're going to have those sometimes, but those are the ones where, what is the team going to do in those situations when the conditions aren't perfect and your team's not playing the best? Who's going to step up? And the Barons defense stepped up. They get themselves to win. They go to 2-0. Now they are going to sit atop the NRC North for this week. And yes, the Tigers put up a fight, but they're 0-2 now. So they don't get a pass on this one.
Yeah, man. Rain games, man. Right, rain games.
Yeah.
I tell you, they really don't. They don't really tell you a whole bunch, but then sometimes they tell you a whole lot about your team and what it can do. As you start to find, it seems like in rain games, you start to find like people who you didn't really think were going to step up. They step up. Maybe they wanted your game plan to take over because Troy had a touchdown here, and then somebody on the defense had a touchdown, correct? For the Barons, if I'm not mistaken. But like it's interesting, man, when you see these rain games because you see that struggle, and that's what you saw here in this game. Here is not. It's not a pretty win, right? But it's a win. We just saw what the Barons are able to do to this team in the preseason with their backups, and so I truly believe that weather does affect the game in a whole lot of ways. So good win for the Barons. I didn't really have anything really any bad thing to say about either one of these teams. It was just a back and forth game. If you like slow burners, this is the game for you. But I did want to give a special shout out to the Barons defense with the 8 sacks total, man. 8 total sacks. Yeah. That's a big deal, man. Hey, I'll take 8 sacks in the rain, man. Against my offense is not really moving. I'll take 8 sacks on a day, man. That's a whole lot of headbanging right there.
Yeah, really, I don't have anything to say about it. I think my segue into this was just about enough, and you guys cleared it all up. So let's go ahead and move on to the next game. Great win right there for Coach Rowland and the Barons. Next game, see, here goes this again. Let's see what. Okay, there it goes. All right. So here we go. This was by far the highest scoring game so far of the week. And not only was it that, it was a record-breaking game. We had 3 guys from this game offensively place in the top 10. One of them breaking the record this week, which was Reed Wagner with 594 passing yards in a single game. That record was recently held by Kel Brom when he played for the Shamrocks back in Season 2 in a crazy game, and that came down to the wire and everything. And I think still one of the highest scoring games total in RFL history. And Reed Wagner and Chase McCoy pretty much had the same exact battle. There was just pretty much like no defense out there. These guys were just slinging it, receivers making plays, and the Steamers ended up coming out on top here like a college game here, 50-43.
Yeah, this is something that, you expect with the Condors games just because we know that their defense needs help. They have addressed it this year, but there's still more pieces to get. And a lot of the times it ends up being a case where their defense is going to give up a lot. But I really like what I'm seeing out of the offense. And I think, the offense is moving along really well. And it's really letting Chase McCoy do what Chase McCoy is good at. And they just need their defense to step up sometimes, and last week they were able to get it done. This week they were against a little bit more high-powered offense, and it showed to be the difference. This isn't a secret this isn't a new thing for the Steamers either. They're used to shootouts. They get into them, and Wagner excels in those situations. As you see here, 37 of 40.
Crazy.
He missed 3 passes on 40 attempts for almost 600 yards. That's not even human. What is
Ridiculous.
that? That's just crazy.
That's Wagner.
And yeah, man. The one thing I was a little surprised about is I thought that I thought that somebody's defense would step up, and neither of them really did. I think the Steamers ended up getting an interception. Yeah, they got an interception. But, the amount of points scored here, I just think at some point, some of these teams that are giving up these huge amount of points, it's going to start to hurt them. It's going to start being a problem where you're not always going to be able to be in a shootout. So I'm just hoping to see if a couple of these teams like these guys here can reel in the amount of points getting scored on them and hopefully get some type of defensive consistency heading forward into the rest of the season.
Yeah, man. I don't even know what to say about this game. I watched this game, and obviously I'm gonna say I'm disappointed there was no defense. Obviously I'm gonna say that. It's just, my mind was I was just taken aback, by this game, because at one point it's just like, when does it end, right? Like at one point it's like it's like, you guys ever seen foosball? Y'all know what that is? Y'all old enough to know what that is? What foosball is?
You talking about the little table game?
Yeah. Smitty, you never seen a little game?
Yeah, I know foosball.
Oh,
you don't want to mess with me on that, man.
It's a little soccer
Yeah,
ball
exactly.
thing, yeah.
And that's exactly what this was with Coach Laramie and Jones. Both of them are just in a old parlor somewhere playing foosball. You know what I mean? Back and forth, high college action here in the RFL, and I was kind of disgusted, man. I had to take some Pepto-Bismol because I just thought that this was just disgusting, man. As Jones said in the chat, team didn't give up 30 points all last season, so I know he's not really happy about that. Laramie's probably happy. He's probably, oh man, we keeping up with the Steamers, man. Okay, 40 points. Like, he's probably a little bit like wondering about his defense as well. He just drafted a safety, one of the biggest names ever. What's going on? What's going on here, man? So it's just, it's one of those games where it's fun to watch for this week, but we can't have this every single week, right? We cannot have, like Bill said, guys dropping 50 and 40 every single week, man. So I'm here's just praying to defense, and rest in peace to it. Smitty, go ahead and drop a bell there. Rest in peace to the D in this ball game. Shout out to the Steamers for getting it done.
Yeah, RP to the defense. I'll play another bell to that. There just was nobody on the side of the field at all. Like you said, those big name safeties. Both of these guys drafted big name safeties this past season. It was Mansour Chappelle for the Steamers, and then Ray Franklin for the Condors. And where were they at? This offense just for both sides was ridiculous. Like I said, Reed Wagner breaks the record with his passing yards. Chase McCoy just finishes third, right underneath of Kel Brom's record with 525 yards passing in that game. And Romeo Jackson was able to finish, I believe that was the receiver that finished seventh all time for the most yards in a single game with 218 in that. It was so many receivers with over 100 yards. Even Clark Jaguar had himself 190 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns. I mean, this was just an absolute good old college shootout. That's all I could say about it. Good win there for the Steamers. Moving on to the next game here, though. Celtic Tigers versus the Portland River Hogs. And, the River Hogs came in, after a great win over the Armadillos the week before. Was able to win that one in overtime, 23-20. Then the Celtic Tigers absolutely got smacked by the Voyagers, 31-10. But Dr. Dre and the Celtic Tigers able to turn things around. But the River Hogs did not make it easy, man. They were fighting a little bit back and forth, but the offense just proved to be too much. And when you got these three names right here for the Celtic Tigers all moving, it's tough to beat that team. They come out on top, 42-32.
Yeah, man, this was I at first, the River Hogs sort of looked like they were going to pull away, man. It looked like Celtic Tigers were about to lay another egg because I think it was 17-7 at one point, and not lay another egg, but just not play very well, especially after the loss last week. It was not a very what's the word I'm looking for?
Good.
it was not very comforting, I guess, to see the Celtic Tigers going down 10 early on. But like you said, they rallied back. They ended up getting back into the groove of what we are used to seeing out of them. And this three-headed monster got loose: Crowell, Worsley, Nayani, and they just ran away with it. And once they run away with it, and once they're feeling it, this team is almost impossible to beat. And they showed why here.
Oh man, Dr. Dre at it again. I didn't have much about this game, but great game between two great veterans. I was really liking seeing Hunter Mackey in action. I'm always a fan of Hunter Mackey, so really like seeing him going to Leach. I just really like that connection here. So I'm really going to enjoy watching the River Hogs this season. Hopefully Mackey sails off into the sunset with a great season. As always, Dr. Dre, man, back at it against the River Hogs. Obviously a great rivalry right here. Smitty, I think I kind of touched on it during the game. Mackey had a chance, man. He had a chance to get Dre back from that last time they had met when I was coaching that game, man. And man, Mackey just couldn't do it, man. Couldn't get it done. Almost did though, man. He had the touchdown and then the 2-point conversion, and that we were looking for that turnover in the last 4 minutes of the game. Couldn't get that turnover. Dre just doing what he does, man, solidifying the game. But just a remarkable game. Obviously, the comeback performance by Dr. Dre I thought was awesome. And man, just living up to that hype, man, living up to that GOAT hype, as you always calling them. Every coach, every head coach loves to come back, man. That's one thing I will give to Dre Crowell, man. Just never count this guy out, man. Don't count him out of games unless you just completely shut this team down. Do not count this guy out of games, man. This guy is phenomenal with that comeback ability, man. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and
hey man, I just want to throw this out here real quick before we get away from this stuff. And this might be a little off topic, but I give you crap, Smitty, about Dre, but I think he's great. I do. I just like giving you a hard time. But for anybody out there who was wondering why Dre is talked about and held in such a high regard, I really encourage you guys, especially the ones who are trying to learn more about this league, to go back to what week was that? Do you remember?
It was
it was season 4.
Season 4, I think week 2, and he had a bye.
2 or week 3, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Portland River Hogs and the Celtic Tigers, and it was
nuts.
And it was Smitty on the call, and Rob was in the chat with us, and it was a horrible game. What was the score at one point?
I can't remember off the top of my. I know the final score ended up being 27-24 with the overtime.
Yeah, it was looking really bad for the Celtic Tigers, man. It was rough, and Rob,
go ahead, tell it.
Rob's like, Smitty, I want you to pull this guy right now, get him out of this game. And
the guy threw 3 interceptions in 2 minutes. And the league is like,
story. You're better at it.
He threw 3 interceptions in the last 2 minutes of the game. We could have scored 5 times, and he threw 3 interceptions, man. And I was mad. I was pissed. And I'm in the chat, and everybody's like, man, Dre's the GOAT. Dre's the GOAT. It's my first season. I'm like, this guy's a GOAT. He's throwing like a GOAT. Because he's not acting like he's the greatest of all time. He's acting like a real Billy Goat, right? So he's just. He throws 3 interceptions. He's walking all off the side. Justin Jones is in my ear. I'm walking and pacing on the sideline. This is my first experience as a coach in a tight game, right? And this guy throws the 3rd interception. So I'm like, hold on, man. Smitty, I want a timeout. Sub Dre Crowell out. And the whole crowd just stopped. The chat just stops. The game pauses. And this is Smitty. Well, coach wants to sub Dre Crowell out for the first time in his career.
He was so tight coach. About it.
and then 5 seconds later, you see, I'm not on the Celtic Tigers, so I can't sub Dre Crowell out. So he's gonna stay.
And he was so excited.
He was so excited about it. Back to the game. We get back to the game, and here's Dre Crowell. Comes back, man. 21 points. 21 points, man. In the last 3 minutes of that game, nuts. Chat went crazy, and Smiggy's just like, and that's why he's gonna always be the greatest of all time, and he's the face of the RFL. And then it just shuts off, and everybody's like, wow.
Yeah,
you gotta go watch that. You gotta go watch that, guys.
You gotta watch it.
It's funny, I don't mind dudes of course throwing the shade at Dre Crowell because I understand the logic of people saying it's too early to tell a GOAT, but for me up to this point, if there had to be a face of the league of somebody who's been the most consistent, that's why I'm so high on Dre, because
that you just see it every year. There's a reason why this team's the most winningest team. And, like you said, he's got a pretty decent, good supporting cast and everything too. But I mean, you definitely could see that the games that he won was definitely due to him taking care of the football, getting things done. And even when he does throw those interceptions, his bounce back is just ridiculous. Like Rob said, you could never count this guy out ever. Yeah. And he even started out this game rough. He started out his first drive was an interception. And that's when everyone assumed, oh, man, everybody's making fun of Dre in the chat. And I think that's the worst thing you could have did because maybe he heard you. And I know it's a video game, but this guy is different.
We got to change the subject because we got the shot clock. Well, we got to tell the side story. Justin Jones, I was like, I want to put Justin Jones in. And Justin Jones is in the chat like, oh, just going to throw me to the Wolves. It was so funny. Like, every rookie wants to play in the RFL. And, everyone wants to play immediately. And as soon as I tapped Justin Jones' shoulder, he's like, oh, just throw me to the Wolves down 21 points. It was nuts, man. It was nuts.
Yeah, but I'm gonna still get my talk out on this. I'm not. I'm done with for the most part about Dre. You guys should already know at this point. But the main reason I even dislike this is just the whole storyline about this rivalry. They've never been in the same division ever. And these guys have only met. This was the fourth time ever meeting. Hunter Mackey owned them twice, and then the last time, of course, was that crazy overtime comeback win. That was the first time Drake Coyle and the Celtic Tigers beat them. And then this last week, able to come back after trailing, like Bill said, by 10 points, 17-7. Come back, get this win. Just a great win for the Celtic Tigers. But one thing I will say, and still will bell, is that the Celtic Tigers defense is still looking atrocious. So I will play the bell on that. Hopefully that gets changed and they play better. But if they continue to play like that, Dre's the GOAT and those guys out there, making plays, but there's only but so much you're going to be able to do if your defense is not able to stop the other team. But
Jones is the only quarterback that's ever played football that was like, hey, Jones, it's time to go in. And he's like, well, who's going to hold this clipboard then? I can't go in.
Right.
All right, so the next game.
I'm holding kicks.
The next game, another upset here, man. The Red Dragons falling to the Voyagers. And it's crazy to say it's an upset because, we still will call it an upset because they were last year's champs. But the Voyagers, man, they are looking top-notch right now as they were able to best the Red Dragons here 20-6. Did not allow the offense to score a single touchdown and picked off Anthony Savoy 4 times. He's got 5 interceptions and no passing touchdowns so far this season. What's your thought on that and, of course, this game?
Well, first off, excellent win for the Voyagers and for Coach Baker. They controlled this game from start to finish. Obviously, it was a one-sided affair. Even though the score was only a 2-score difference, if you watch this game, it was much more than a 2-score difference. The Red Dragons offense was completely halted. There was nothing they seemed to be able to do. Nothing was working for them. And the Voyagers, while, they didn't put up a crazy amount of points, they didn't have much success, being able to establish a crazy ground game. You're not going to be able to do that against the Red Dragons, even when they're having a bad week. But the Voyagers defense played, the Voyagers defense showed up to San Diego and they did what the Red Dragons were expected to do. And they come away with the win. I have no doubt, that Coach Davis is going to get this sorted out. This is not what we expect out of the Red Dragons, the defending champs. And I also, man, I don't know who the heck it was wearing that number 6 jersey, but I don't think that was the real Anthony Savoy because that was just crazy. Like, we have seen him last year. Yes, he's had some games where maybe he's not the most consistent through the air. Maybe he's not an all-out great passer sometimes, but this game was just ugly, and there's no other way to put it. So something was wrong with him this game. Something was wrong with that offense as a whole. They got too many weapons to be trotting out 6 points. That's just how it is. Like, who do they have? Like 3 or 4 receivers above like 85 overall?
Yeah, McIntosh, Compton, and Kidd.
Yeah, it's so you can't bring an offense out here like this and expect to win games. And I know that Coach Davis knows that, and I'm sure that it'll get fixed. Nonetheless, though, the Voyagers keep showing us that they are not a team to be slept on and that they are a very serious contender in this ARC, and I cannot wait to see what they do throughout the rest of the season.
Yeah, man, just a great performance by the Houston Voyagers. Coach Baker, man, I don't know what kind of cookies this guy's baking up there in the Space Needle with these Voyagers, but I guess I'm going to call them Voyager cookies, man, because he's got these guys on the Voyagers looking real, real good, man. He signed a whole bunch of players, got some young talent. He's using them very, very effectively here, and he just straight assaulted the Red Dragons. I'm not sure I think that for the most part, and I know I for one knew this was going to be a battle. I just didn't think it would end in a 6 for number 6 here and 4 interceptions. I thought it'd be a lot, closer than this, or maybe even a little bit higher scoring. But for whatever reason, man, it was a solid day for Coach Baker, doing a great job with the Voyagers. And I know Coach Davis is going to get back to the drawing board because, yeah, as Bill pointed out, this is not that did not look like Anthony Savoy at all. And that didn't look like the Red Dragons. But not going to take anything away from Coach Baker's game planning.
Yeah, not too much to say about this. One thing I will say is still the Red Dragons defense did what they do. They were able to still keep the Voyagers. If you watch that game, that defense was still getting it done and kept the offense out of the end zone for the most part. And man, they just did not get no help at all from the offense. Savoy turning the football over, really rough start. Like I said, 5 interceptions this season with no touchdowns. From going from offensive rookie of the year to that, already at least right now looking like a sophomore slump. But I'm pretty sure Coach Davis is going to figure out some type of way to get him going and everything. But really rough start for Savoy to this season. The offense couldn't get going. The run game got shut down. We really got to give a lot of props to Coach Baker's defense. I think that's one of the most noticeable things about this Voyagers team. The offense has gotten even better when it comes to throwing the football down the field. Glenn Hay is just automatic just about finding open receivers. But this defense should get a lot of its credit because, you see the guy here in this picture. I already feel right now he's leading, and I know we got a lot of weeks ahead. This guy's got to be right now leading for Defensive Player of the Year. The amount of plays he's been able to make, the big hits. He forced a fumble on Anthony Savoy and was able to even recover that. So technically in that game, Anthony Savoy had 5 turnovers. And, and this guy's, a 76 overall, 75, something like that. And he's just making plays. And Baker's been able to utilize him great, even at this low overall since last year, and really brought out the best in Adam Okoye. And it just looks like ever since they really made him a more of an instrument to this defense, it's just taken this defense to a whole nother level. And they've always had some pretty good, solid defensive players as well. Also, another thing, their cornerbacks, I feel, get a little bit underrated. They got some pretty good cornerbacks out there. They picked up Carlos Gint off a trade with the Bulldogs. So, this team is just looking all the way revitalized, playing like they've never played before right now. Of course, it's just 2 games, but you can tell this is a different Voyagers team than in years past. And like Bill said, can't wait to see what this team does in the future. That's a huge win right there over last year's champs. Now, moving on to the next game. This one you called, Rob. The Elks and the Crusaders. This was just a good game all throughout. Eric Fisher got to play in his first game as an Elk, and he did not disappoint. 4 passing touchdowns to lead the Elks over the Crusaders, 38-27.
Another high-scoring game, man. A divisional matchup. This one, I thought it was interesting that you would almost thought that this game would have went the opposite way, considering the teams that we had playing. We had a guy where one side had a brand new starting quarterback and the other was the defending champions of this division. And you would have thought it was the other way around because Fisher seemed to be more in tune with what was going on at some times than Wakefield. He had all the fancy yards and the 51 pass completions, but they couldn't convert it into enough points to keep going with the Elks. And I'm a little surprised with Eric Fisher, man. We gave him a hard time from the preseason. I know I did too. And he came out and he had an interception. Maybe his accuracy wasn't the best, but 325 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he gets the Elks their first win or their win of the season here. I think they did it. Did they have they didn't have an NFL game last week, right?
I think they did.
Yeah, I don't think they played an RFL game. So this is like their first official win of the season. Mm-hmm. And I was just pleasantly surprised to see Eric Fisher come out and control the offense like that. So maybe we'll see. We still need to see more out of him, I think, to be able to tell if this is going to be a trade that goes down as a flop or a good decision. But so far, it's off to a hot start.
Yeah, man. This was an interesting game to call. If you watch this game, then you know that the Elks were just all over the San Diego Crusaders. And I know Coach doesn't like it when I say a lot of stuff about his team and everything.
Chips.
But I can't spare it on your chips, man. Coach Bacigalupi, man, I feel like you were underprepared for this game here, man. This guy Fisher was just acquired. Just acquired. We saw the preseason that he had, and I know guys say he's got mega potential, but he shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be doing this to your defense, man. You know, and I think that's going to be a area where the Crusaders are definitely going to have to get better at is their defense. We know Wakefield is a monster. 430 yards is nothing for Wakefield. We know he can throw that with the lights out, right? We know that already. He did that without even targeting Bentley a whole bunch, right? He kept going to Colt here, right? We know he can easily get that. We know about Bryson. We know you've been trying to get Bryson going, and we're hoping you get him going even more. But he's got to start to figure out something with his defense, man. Because right there, man, was just kind of to me. I was like, wow, like this guy. You know, I know he's got the star dev and everything. He's a little bit better than Bane and everything. Okay, but I want to know. Do y'all think Bane would have did this to the Crusaders?
I don't think he would have, to be honest.
No. I mean, even last year, man, it was more of the defensive side of the ball for the Elks than it was the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
You know,
and another thing also is that, I think that Bane would have probably done it in a different way running than this.
Yeah, it was an interesting game to watch. Just watching Fisher just look like possessed. He just looked perfect. Like he'd been there all along. Like coach had him, and he looked honestly to me, he looked to be about 24, 25 years old and probably like an 80, 81, 82, 83 overall quarterback, who's been in the system for a long time. That's what he looked like to me. And right now, I'm not going to speculate. I'm just going to say O'Neal won in the trade.
Nice.
For now. That's all. I'm going to leave it at that.
Hey, before I don't want to forget, man. How about Roy Kincaid?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Yeah,
the
rookie
go ahead,
out of
Smitty.
Tennessee,
I opened it up for you, man.
Bell me too, Smitty, for calling him a Texas Longhorn.
Oh yeah, yeah, man. But a rookie out of Tennessee, man. I think the whole community was hyped just watching this kid playing college. He comes out here at his first RFL game. We knew it was going to be a great addition for the receiving corps for the Elks to pair along with DeAndre Mail. And this guy leads the team in receiving yards and touchdowns here in this game with 125 receiving yards of 7 catches and 2 touchdowns. I mean, that was just satisfying to see. And, of course, it was satisfying to see Eric Fisher, get in his bag and have this type of performance. The man hasn't started since 2019. He hasn't started for a couple years since season 4. And here he is coming out his first start since then, getting the dub with 4 touchdowns. And we already knew the Crusaders' defense was pretty bad, but I do agree with Rob. There's no reason for the defense to get shredded like this. In the run game with Martin was killer as well. He didn't have over 100 yards, but still, that's a great yard per carry right there that he's got. I believe was that close to 5, if not just a little under. And so, this offense was just all the way on. There was, of course, as we all know with the Elks defense, big hits. Got Garrison Ash and Buckshot, as you like to call him, Antoine Buck out there laying guys out. And you just saw a hard-fought game there by the Elks, and they came out on top. It's really all I had to say about that one. Shout out to Roy Kincaid, man. My guy. And
it's really cool seeing these guys, man. Like you see Kincaid, you got Colt down there. Those both are user submitted players, and it's cool watching as we go through like these seasons and starting to see the community guys starting to sort of creep up in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this was the final game that was called on Monday. We had the Pioneers versus the Bulls. Always a great rivalry matchup. These guys used to be in the same division after the realignment, have separated. And we still had ourselves a pretty close matchup here. I mean, it started out really rough. The Bulls was giving it to the Pioneers, and the Pioneers started inching back. But turnovers by McAfton and everything else ended up sailing them downhill as they fell short 31-26.
Well, yeah, this game, I think, is won alone just based off of David Jones's performance, man. What a performance by this guy. $169 on the ground, 2 touchdowns, and then he throws in another 100 yards and a touchdown through the air receiving. Like, that's a clutch performance right there. And, this is the David Jones that we saw 2 seasons ago. Like, when didn't he have 2,000, I think, that year, or he was like up for like running back of the year or something?
Nobody's hit 2,000 yet, but he was up there.
Yeah, I just remember he was like the guy for that season. And he sort of tapered off a little bit last year, but no, this is a great start to this season for him. What a performance! And like you said, it started out like the Bulls were going to blow him out, and then I don't know if they took their foot off the pedal, but it seemed like the Pioneers got a little bit back in there, and then yeah, it would have been a pretty bad day though if Brooklyn let them end up winning. But just good luck there, guys, because lacking McCafton is always good for a few, and he made sure to give the Bulls a couple of presents today, just like he gives every other RFL team.
And just one thing to say, Pat, I've saved that fact for another segment here later in this podcast.
Yeah, man. I don't have much to say. Big shout out to you, Coach Klein, for another win, for your first win here, obviously. But big shout out to you, man, for another, I would say, great performance by the Bulls. So we know that they can turn up fast. And all I want to say about this, man, is like if you really want to understand how this game felt to me watching it, just go watch the game, put it on mute, and play Tupac's "How Do You Want It?" And I want you to just watch every single David Jones play to "How Do You Want It?" Right? How do you want it? How does it feel coming up as a youngin' in the cash game, living in the fast lane? I'm for real. That's how David Jones was, man. Like, this guy was running, he was catching, he was on the outside, beating corners, running over people, stiff arms, spin move, ankles. Man, look at these stats here. 27 rushes, 169, 2 touchdowns, 7 receptions, 105, 1 touchdowns. Smitty, I got to ban this guy from progressing this player because I'm in the same division, and he's my punter. He's my punter. He's got 19,000 reloads, and I think he's about to turn this guy up again. Jeez.
As he should, though, man. I mean, David Jones only an 84 overall, 85.
Yeah. If you don't know who David Jones is, that's the almighty Chrome. Let me get hashtag Chrome, one of the greatest RFL community members that we have here. Hashtag Chrome. David Jones is a monster, man. Jeez.
Absolute beast, man. ARC player of the week, man. 3 total touchdowns. I'll save the fun fact because we're going to have a little segment about McCafton a little bit later. But, yeah, the Pioneers, took the L here. But the Bulls, they really got to learn how to be consistent. I mean, they really got to be consistent throughout the game. David Jones can't be the guy running the show the entire game all the time. They've just got to make sure that they are keeping things going. David Jones was definitely the one-man band crew with that. But I honestly felt at the way this game started that this game shouldn't even have been close. McCafton, despite the 3 interceptions and no touchdowns, had his second consecutive 300-yard passing game, which I guess was able to get them in range to be able to score. I believe both of their running backs had a rushing touchdown, so it was a decent, dual back system that I guess the Pioneers were using as they were running their backs. I think both running backs had 8 carries in this one, and both, like I said, able to get in the end zone. But, McCafton really struggling with accuracy and things like that. We'll talk more about him, like I said. But Bulls, great win right here. Got to work on that consistency, though, and keep the foot on opponents' necks because it only gets harder as the season goes on. But, yeah, that's all we have here for the recaps. Let's go ahead and talk about this upcoming week. Not a lot of games. I'm going to go ahead and look at the spreads and everything here so we can talk about. So the first game that we have here, okay. So the first game that we have here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern, the Oklahoma City Lancers traveling to Austin, Texas to take on the Desperados. Got the Desperados winning by 3 or more points. You think they take the spread? Who you got winning?
Yeah, I got Desperados in this one, and I think they covered the spread.
I got the Lancers.
Lancers.
Look, man. Look, Razier. It's been over a year now. I'm waiting for this double-headed monster to unleash. You got the 2. I'm waiting on this double-headed monster to release, man. That's all I'm saying. Lancers win this game.
Following game, 8 p.m. Eastern, the London Bulldogs, Battle of London, as always, when these two meet. Division rivals, Bulldogs versus Black Knights. Bulldogs projected to win by 3 or more points as well.
I'm actually on that side with the Bulldogs too here. I think the Bulldogs will win. I think they cover the spread. I really like what they've done in that part of London, and I think they'll put it together for a win.
Yeah, I think the Bulldogs' defense has been holding firm.
I
So
think
if they can
London's going to win.
yeah. If they've, yeah, I think London's gonna win. But yeah, man. If they can hold firm and maybe get that offense jump started, they should get this win here.
All right, next game on Saturday to start the premieres, we have the River Hogs taking on the Voyagers. Voyagers projected to win by 4 or more.
I almost think that's a light day for the Voyagers right now. 4 points, that's it. I'll give the Voyagers that.
Yeah, same here. Knocked off the Celtic Tigers, knocked off the Red Dragons. I think boy, about to be some ham sandwiches this weekend, man.
I see what you did there.
Pork butt.
Pork.
Yeah.
All right, next game, Shamrocks versus Diablos. Diablos by 4 or more points.
Not even a question, man. I got to go Diablos.
I'm gonna give it to Forbes, man. Forbes beats the AI, shut down Tom Wilson. It's over.
All right, now we got your game, Rob, here. Miners versus Cougars. Cougars by 5 or more.
I got Miners by 10. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Rob. I got the Cougars covering that spread for sure.
Is it by 10 or is it by 4, Smitty?
It's by 5.
By 5? Okay, yeah. This is gonna be an interesting game here. Obviously, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Cougars because it's my team. But I will say that the last game that I played these guys, they jumped off to a pretty good game, man. It's jumped out real quick to 10 points on us. And it was kind of like, we were fighting to get back into that game, and we ended up demolishing them 38-16. Yeah, man, this is a sneaky team here. Now they have a coach, around them that's here. So we will see. We will see what they do. But yeah, Cougars gonna cover that spread.
All right, so we move to Sunday, and what I think is game of the week: Explorers versus Gunners. Even without Latavian Worrell, it's always great to see. I think this is the second time in history that you guys have played, so that's going to be interesting to see that. Explorers got the best of them before. Of course, Gunners are favored to win this one due to Worrell not being there, and he got the Gunners winning by 6 or more points.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to take my team, of course. So I'm just going to say that and just let Rob take it because I'm just going to take my team.
I have to be a realist. Without the quarterback, I'm very worried about the Explorers. I don't know if any of the quarterbacks for the Explorers can beat can beat the defense of the Gunners right now, other than Worrell. And so it's just an experience thing, man. They just don't have what Worrell has,
I get it.
And so man, if that doesn't happen and the defense doesn't if the offense doesn't move or the defense of the Explorers doesn't shut it down, then this might be Jabri Jackson, Kayan, Scruggs best in this game, man. And so we'll see. I think the coach is going to put together a game plan though, to beat it out. So I'm going to definitely go with the underdog in this one here, man. I think the underdog is the Explorers here, whether you guys like it or not. And I think that the underdog here is going to get it done off some good coaching by our man, by the legend Bill, man, a legend in the making. I think he's going to outcoach the Gunners in this one.
Appreciate it.
And so the Toronto Thunderbirds looking for their first win after their loss last week to the Snowhawks as they take on the Wizards, formerly known as the Marshals, who took a pretty significant beatdown last week against the Desperados. So the Thunderbirds are projected to win this by 5 or more. Do you agree with that?
You know what, man? I think I might end up backfiring on me, but I'm gonna go Wizards here, man. I think after this last performance we saw from the Wizards and how horrible that game played out, I think Rummel has been waiting for the last 2 weeks now for this matchup right now because I think there was an NFL game for him last week, right?
No, they played the Desperados and that's when they got pummeled 10-52.
But we just went over last week's games and they were not on there. What you talking about?
Oh man, I'm forgetting it's week 3.
Yeah, don't confuse me.
All right, yeah, you're right.
Anyway, I think he's been sitting there scheming, labbing, if you will, for the last 2 weeks. And without the Thunderbirds having a coach and being able to do the same, I don't know, man. Especially with them being at home, they're up for a win, and they are a very talented team. And I think people are forgetting that because of the team name change. But I'm going to take the Wizards.
Yeah, man. I'm starting to kind of grow. I'm starting to kind of what put the Thunderbirds in the same category as those Celtic Tigers there, Smitty, man. You know what I mean? Because they've been goated as a great. Everybody loves them and everything. And I don't care if you guys gonna put your Thunderbirds, your hashtag Thunderbirds T-Birds in the chat right now. I'm getting real tired of this Toronto team, man.
Me
With
too.
that, with that said, Rummel, I hope you out there scheming as Bill says you are, man. Because if not, then that old wizard hat right there, you might as well go ahead and put bird seed all over it, man. Because those Thunderbirds coming down, and boy oh boy, they're gonna be on your head. So I hope you're getting it right. Take advantage, man. Take advantage. The former coach is no longer there, and that this is an AI team, and you see the weaknesses on this team. Hey, do what you got to do. Pull out that win. Go Wizards in this game.
All right, so we'll move on to the final day: Sentinels versus Dreadnoughts, and Dreadnoughts projected to win by 3 or more.
Man, this is a really tough game to call
Yeah, another
because
good one.
they're both very good teams, and I really think that the Sentinels have a solid defense, but the Dreadnoughts been playing well too, man. This is a tough game for me to choose. I think anytime I'm in this tough a predicament, I'm always going to take the home team just for the field advantage. So for that reason, I'm going to have to go with the Dreadnoughts.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and say it, man. I think that the Dreadnoughts are an underrated team. I always give salutes to Coach Tord, one of the longest standing. Is he the longest standing coach here?
Yeah, he's up. Yeah, I think so.
Currently, yeah, longest standing coach here, coach here in the league, and so I give him that. And he's putting together a solid team he has here, but it has weaknesses like all of us do. But his team does have weaknesses. I respect the Dreadnoughts and what Coach Frankie has been able to do. I respect what he was able to do last year. He has a big, huge wide receiver. And man, oh man, I hope he can get him going. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. I am going to call this one in favor of the Dreadnoughts. Cam Jones, man, is going to have a spectacular day.
All right, so both of y'all think they'll cover the 3 or more point spread?
Yeah.
Okay. In the final game, Crusaders versus Tigers. Got the Crusaders coming out on top to drop the Tigers to 0-3 by 4 or more points.
Well, I think this is a must win at this point for the Crusaders. Last year they win the division. Obviously they didn't make it out of the wild card round. Sorry about that, bud. I'm not really, but just trying to be nice. But they're 0-2 now. They just lost to the Elks. They if they lose this game,
I think they had a bye week.
Did they?
Yeah, RFL.
Okay, so they're 1-1. Okay,
Yeah.
so either way, man, you don't want to start out the season dropping 2 in a row like this when you're the defending division champs. You have to win this game. So I think because of that, I think the Crusaders know that this is a must win, because if you get too far down, it's hard to get back up, and they have a tough division. The Snowhawks are at full force this year. You can't be messing around with teams like the Tigers when you're defending division champs. So I think the Crusaders get it done. They cover the spread, and they get back on the right side of things.
If he don't get this defense going, it might be an L to the Tigers, man. That's all I'm gonna say there. So he has to make sure he gets that defense going. He can shut these Tigers down. Hopefully, it's a clear day. Doesn't have to worry about the rain and everything. I'm not at all worried about the Crusaders' offense. They have a great offense. Got to figure out how to score against these Tigers, but also got to figure out how to stop the Tigers from scoring. So he's tasked with that job this week. I'm going to go ahead and put it in favor of him, though. I think the Bacigalupi gets it done against Chicago this weekend.
We got him over 4 points?
Yeah, I got him over 4 points.
All right. And, yeah, got to watch out for that Tigers defense, man. They're still playing good in these 2 losses that they've taken. So they can slow down Wakefield a little bit. And we already just, like Rob just hit on about that defense of the Crusaders, Billy Johnson could get going. We could be looking at a potential great win right there for the Tigers, but we'll have to see what Coach does there in that game.
And something to actually play the sort of devil's advocate here, like Rob likes to do, I know, when we're having our discussions. This is actually a perfect setup for the Tigers, to be honest.
Yeah.
To get their first win. They're at home.
Mm-hmm.
They have a defense that's not very good that they can take advantage of.
Of course.
And they have a decent defense to be able to maybe rattle Wakefield a little bit, but it's just, can they keep up with the firepower that the Crusaders can put out? So
yeah.
But this could be a perfect setup for the Tigers to get their first win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just can't wait. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm not sure if it's the matchups, Smitty. You know, is it the matchups that's kind of phasing Elijah Bentley out of games? I feel like it's
I was
always
gonna
like a
say that.
seesaw, man. It's always like either it's Colt or it's Bentley, but it's never the same. It's never both of them
Well,
together.
it just depends
you know?
on the situation. It does depend on what the defense and everything is in, and just simply where Wakefield's going to go based off what the defensive look is. So, like, maybe he was, running routes that were just covered based off the defense and he had to go elsewhere. Bentley still did end up having himself a decent game. So he would target him, maybe not as much, definitely not as much as we saw him do last year. But we'll have to see how that goes.
So a quick question, right? Do you think Elijah Bentley fits Bachkalupi's system?
I think so. He was in the system last year, got him to work, just got to figure out how to do it again.
That's the one thing I'm curious about, because I'm wondering, did something change? Because like last year, it seemed like every other pass was going to Bentley and it was working. And then, he got hurt, and then it just, hasn't seemed to be the same ever since then. It seems like he just hasn't been able to get into that groove he was in earlier in season 5. So I'm just curious myself.
Well, one of the main things is, it's only been their first game. Even in the preseason, I don't think they've even played that much in the preseason, to be honest. I think they did have a few, but like he wasn't touching the field either. So, this is a first game thing. From looking at what I've seen, it doesn't look like he's changed up what he did last year with them. It just looks like it might just be the defensive looks that are just making it difficult for him to get him the ball. So I can't say that anything has changed at this point. We'll just have to see how the season goes on. But let's go ahead and move on to you guys' favorite parts. Let's talk about Madden's top 10 rankings here, man.
Oh, man.
Right now, Voyagers at number 1.
Well, at least they got that right.
Yeah, Desperados number 2, Gunners 3, Lancers 4, Aviators 5, Bison 6, Elk 7, Diablos 8, Snowhawks 9, and Sentinels 10. Rattle off what you guys think about this.
What the heck?
What would you change about this right here? All teams 2-0, but what would you change about it?
Look, I can appreciate the Bisons getting that win, but they do not belong in the top 10. Come on, man.
It was ranked above every other ARC team, man.
Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
The Diablos should be higher. Snowhawks should be higher. Sentinels should be higher. I think the Elks belong in the top 10, but I wouldn't put them above some of the teams that they're above. Yeah, man. I guess we're just have to deal with this crapshoot until things start evening out. But the fact that the Bisons are number 6, like, no offense to the guys that are out there that are on the Bisons, or if you're a Bisons fan, but let's just be real, man. They don't even belong in the top 25. Like, that's just the truth right now. So, like, to see this is like, come on now, crazy.
Yeah, I don't have anything to say, man. Let me get #CapFest in the chat right now. This is all cap.
The biggest cap in the history of caps.
Well, this segment is for like where you would move, man. Bill, Rob, where would you move players like how Bill did?
Oh man! First of all, some of the bigger wins. Obviously, Diablos, the huge win. The Voyagers are there. The Aviators had a huge win. Who did the Gunners play again?
Gunners played. Why am I blanking? Steamers last time they had a game. I think they had a bye this past week.
Okay, yeah. So all right. So that's solid there. Desperados. Who they play this week? Last week.
They too, I believe, had a bye, and their last win was 52-10 over the Wizards.
Yeah. So this is just. Come on, man. Don't force me to do this, man. Like
You got to, man. It's the segment.
This is nuts, man. Snowhawks are at 9 now. What happened with the Snowhawks? Didn't they just beat the T-Birds? What happened last week?
Yeah, the week before they were at number 9, still at number 9. They didn't have anything last week.
Yeah, man. I said my few teams, man. Diablos, Snowhawks, definitely, have beat some teams here. And Aviators definitely had some really great performance against the Cougars, who were a top team last year as well. So they should be up here. Yeah, man. It's interesting to me. Bisons obviously shouldn't be on. They shouldn't be here, man. I'm not gonna say they shouldn't be here. You know why? I'm gonna say this, man, because they did beat the Miners, who did beat the Bulls, who were a top team last year.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Maybe they do deserve to be up here. I know I'm gonna get in. I know I'm gonna get in hot water here, man. I'm gonna get in hot water.
If you keep going down this path right now.
Why? Why are you
Make
gonna
up his
tell me?
opinion,
They
man.
belong here.
At this point, you wouldn't think
I'm
that
just
the
trying to
Bisons...
use logic. I'm trying to use logic against an illogical system. So that's why I'm on the fence here, you know. But I mean, okay, I might get in hot water here. I don't care if he gets mad at me. But the Sentinels beat the Pioneers, and they're at number 10. They had an NFL game last week against the Packers.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Should they even be here? So I'm just saying. I'm just trying to use logic here, man. You know, trying to use logic here. They did put up a whole bunch of points. A lot of teams put up a whole bunch of points. It's not telling. It's not telling, man. You know, look at the Steamers and the Condors, right? So yeah, man. I don't know about this.
Well,
man.
with the Steamers and
know.
Condors, both of those dudes are 1-1. All these teams have won all their games so far.
I guess so.
They
I
wouldn't
guess
be
so.
there.
It's just a little shifty here. That's all I'm saying. I gave you some teams, man. I gave you some teams.
This list is a little sus, if you ask me.
My segment is
That's
over.
what the debate is. That's what this segment is about. Just give your opinions, what you feel needs to move, or else we would all agree, you know. So we have to go with what the game gives us, man. But now it's time for the big news, guys. It is time for the big news that we've been waiting for. And here it goes, man. The RFL is officially moving to the next gen, man. Starting next week, week 3, starting tomorrow, will be next gen PS5 gameplay. And the reason why we were able to make this move at first, you know, we were saying, hey, we're going to just go the old season until the coaches can get it. And we already know coaches aren't going to be able to get a PS5. All of us are not going to be able to get a PS5 by the time the season ends. So we had to try to make a move. We saw the gameplay. Shout out to Darius and I forgot who else it was. Oh yeah, Carlton Scruggs, man, came talk to me about, you know, the next gen gameplay. I've had the game, but I never watched the gameplay of it. And it's so drastically different from the PS4 version. So the games are going to be so much better. I'm telling you guys that right now. I know what people say about, you know, the PS5 version. Oh, it sucks and all this. Maybe that sucks for you because you're playing it. But when you play it the way we do, I mean, this game absolutely looks amazing. You're not going to see the quarterback drop back. There's so many flaws that are not there anymore. You're looking at some images also of some of our star players from the PS5 that I was able to take from this. And like you can see there from the little ticker at the bottom, man, got a majority of the coaches to vote on this. And, you know, it came with some, you know, a little bit of just relinquishing a little bit of some control. But for the most part, they still get to do what they can do. But it has to be ran through the guys who have the PS5 right now. And right now looks like everything is great up to this point. So with that being said, man, what's your thoughts, you know, on this? What do you want to say to the community about this, you know, from some seeing it? And also, you know, yeah, that's it. I guess nothing else to say.
I'm so excited about this, man. Like, and it sucks. It was hard for me to accept this. Like, you guys noticed, we talked about this for the last like month or two, I think, on and off. And I was like, no, we're not giving up control. I'm not doing that. This isn't right. And man, oh man, we saw some gameplay. And when I tell you guys the type of differences, all of the problems that we keep seeing are gone. I couldn't not agree to this move. I will take the L on some things to get the league to this next gen, man. Like, I'm so excited, guys. Like, Rob, go ahead, man. I'm just gonna keep saying I'm excited.
Yeah, man. I look. All they had to do is show me one time, man. They showed me one time, and I was sold, man. I told Smitty, hey, we got to go to this. And we weren't going to do it at first. You know, we ended up going to sleep, and I don't know what happened between him and Bill the next morning. But all I know is I woke up around midday, and they had the coaches in the meeting, and this is what went down. They said, hey, we're going next gen. And I just couldn't have been happier, man. I was really thinking we were going to get a lot of flack back from the coaching staff because, guys, I get it. You know, you got to relinquish control. Even myself, I had to relinquish control. Although, shout out to Darius Dallas. Dallas, man.
That was huge.
Clutch sending me the PS5. That should be here Friday. But anyway, you know, it's not about you, right? It's not about I or me or Bill or Smitty or anybody, right? It's about the community, the league, the content, right? The production, the caliber of qualityness that we need on this YouTube. And I'm gonna tell you, man, the mechanics of the PS4 are just not vibing with the amount of work that coaches put in behind the scenes with their teams. And it doesn't matter what anybody says, what you hear. If people want to say, oh, you shouldn't do that, so we're not all going to be in the foul or blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It's about the league and the viewers and having quality games. And there's not one single thing that I've seen in this game that's flawed at all, that you don't see in real football, right? Or that we watch on Sundays and Thursdays and in real life. There's not one. I haven't seen it. You tired of your quarterback stopping and then cutting up field? You're tired of your end around plays, no vision. You're tired of your DBs and stuff just not being where they're supposed to be and not smoothly transitioning into interceptions and stuff like that. If you're tired of all that, do whatever you can right now to get a PS5, because this is where it's at. And I'm not saying that this is going to be the same for guys who play the game. You gotta play this game on our settings and our style and everything. But on our settings, our style, the way we do it, this game is awesome. A1 360-degree flip over the PS4, and I'm not even rocking with PS4 no more, for real. And that's all I gotta say.
Since I have not touched my franchise that I've been trying to sort of dabble with, on my own time since I watched the gameplay, I can't even do it anymore. I just can't.
Yeah, such a drastic difference, man. And we are getting that starting tomorrow, guys. So it's automatically here, effective immediately, as you can see down there. And we couldn't wait to break this news to you guys because it's such a big move. And all of our guys are already ported over there. You can see from these pictures and everything. Gameplay from here on out, the playoffs. It's only right, man. And all those flaws that we saw in the PS4. Even since we're out of this, I guess we could talk about it. I really feel like the defenses that we were seeing this past, up to this point were terrible in the PS4. And it wasn't mainly because of the players, it's just because of the game. And the PS4 was just had the defense non-reactive, no real locomotion, and it just played out terrible. And, once we saw this gameplay, we just said we had to move on. Majority of coaches agreed, and that's what we're going to do, man. So next gen come you guys' way tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. This is gonna be so great. And just so I'm gonna throw this out here, since we're all in this this podcast here talking about the 5. I'm trying to get me one, guys. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. My own personal behalf. If anybody out there can find me a dang PS5, what I'll do is I'm gonna send you $50 cash on top of it, and I'm gonna get you. I'll pay for whatever you want out of one of our merch stores once everything gets dropped and opened up. One item, of course, not like shopping spree, but that's what I'll do. If somebody can help me get a 5, all right, please, for crying out loud,
we gonna get you a 5, Bill.
We gonna get Bill a 5,
man.
And no, CP, I'm not going to StockX and paying $800, $900 for a PS5. It ain't happening.
I see guys saying next gen stats are broken. They just mean the overlays and stuff. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it looks all sweet. So, but if you don't pay attention to that, everything else is sweet. You know what I mean? So, but we've known about these overlays. Even the clock on PS4 is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, whatever it says. It's like what?
Broken up on both.
So clearly they need a patch. So
yeah. So our last main topic to talk about here is, hey, this isn't the only big news we got. We also got the merch store. No. Well, this was the topic. Yeah, the merch store is going to come after this. So at least you guys know what's coming. We're going to talk more about that and show you guys what it is. But let's talk about George McAfton. This was the fun fact from Pat. Yeah, they're going to talk about George McAfton now that we're moving on to the PS5, right? Yeah, this was supposed to come after the PS5 next gen.
No, but wait, is he 0-18?
Yeah, I was going to get to that. So George McAfton, man, this was the fun fact. It's right there at the bottom. George McAfton this is a question after this. Should he play for the rest of the year until the draft, or should they start to back up TJ Gregg, who overall is worse, but he looked pretty good the preseason? And the fun fact that Pat pulled up was, of course, what you see here at the bottom is that McAfton has not won a game since March 29th of 2019, and it was against the Aviators 26-3. And ever since that game, he's been 0-18-1. Has not won a game since. So with that, what is your thoughts? Do you just keep out with McAfton?
No.
Here you go with Greg.
Look, I said this last week. I said it the week before. I think I said it the week before that. This guy sucks, man. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Trade for Polo, man.
Yeah, like this,
Trade
he
for
can't
Polo.
play anymore. Like, honestly, let's look at that game against the Bulls this week, right? They battled back, and they lost by what, like 16 points, I think it was, something like that. But he throws these games away. This defense is ready now. Like, the Pioneers have a good defense. I don't think their defense would be as bad as it is right now if they had some type of help on the offensive side of the ball. They have these studs at the running back position in Andre Tomlinson and Bryce Witherspoon. But this guy's just out here just throwing it to the opposite team every week. You see it there. He's 0-18. Get this guy off the field. Something, anybody has to be better. Something, even at least if we find out that Greg is just as bad, at least we know, right? We know what we're getting with McAfton. This guy needs to be gone. He needs to be off RFL team. Send him back down to the D League. He's done. That's all I got.
Wow, man, I'm just shocked. Oh, I didn't know he was 0-18. I thought he like won one there, two there, or whatever. I didn't know that he was this terrible, man. Wow. Yeah, man, you got to get this guy out of there, Smitty. I'm for real. The defense of the Pioneers, man, they've got some guys, man. They've got some solid players. It's just I don't know how you're gonna play this. Do you just like let them just be terrible, all season long, and then you draft a quarterback, or do you trade for one of these quarterbacks that we have on teams right now for them? Especially considering that some of these teams could look to get better, and this would also open up a storyline for a new quarterback. But yeah, man, this is just maybe a quarterback could save them right now, man. Maybe it's possible that they become competitive with a new quarterback. And I'm not going to say TJ Gregg is, I think there's a lot better quarterbacks right now, and TJ Gregg's going to need time. But I think there's a lot better quarterbacks you could get right now that are younger and ready to go. At least compete, man. This is 0-18. I think he should. That's how many seasons is that? Is that 2 seasons of just losses?
Since March of 2019.
All right, look, I want everybody right now, man, to just put up an L all over the country. That's how big this is for this guy McAfton right now, man. Wow, that is nuts.
Yeah, another thing about McAfton, the main thing about this that I'm looking for the Pioneers, I'm not really thinking that the trade would be too much of a great option right now due to the fact that, we got this draft coming up. We know that this team, for the most part, with this probably is not going to win. So they should have a good opportunity to go after one of the quarterbacks in the draft. And so, we also feel like TJ Gregg, we've seen him perform good, but we already know against starters in the RFL, he may have looked good in the preseason, but he may actually turn out to look worse than McAfton when he touches the field and starts. So one of the main things I'm looking to do here for the Pioneers is, of course, we're going to have to see what McAfton's going to be looking like on next gen. I feel like most quarterback kind of got, the bad end of the stick of the deal on PS4. So I would at least give him that.
Now we can really talk.
Now, if he is able to if he still keeps this up on the 5 with higher accuracy sliders, then that's an issue. Then it shows he's already going to have low morale because of the past couple of games. But still, if he doesn't look any type of productive and he's throwing interceptions like he's been, 8 interceptions in 2 weeks, that's pretty bad. So he's getting a chance still on next gen, but if he fails to do that, the main thing I just don't see a trade being too valuable to do, especially with these quarterbacks coming up in the draft. They'll just have to rock out with what they got and just try their best.
I like this little things that McNeil has been doing, man. pretty awesome.
He's been coming up with some really good facts, man. Like he was the one also came up with the facts about the Reload Bowl champions all winning their first games of the season. And
is he an OG here?
That's cool, man.
Yeah, he really he's not an OG, but ever since he came in and submitted a player this past year, this past college series, he's really done some deep diving into the RFL, finding out some very interesting facts. And I told him, hey man, you're gonna be our fact guy, man. You got some facts, send them on over. We'll talk about them. Yeah, fun fact Pat.
I like
hashtag fun fact Pat.
FFP in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, and guys watching this video, don't worry. This is only 3 or something of his interceptions, right? We're still missing over half of his interceptions from just this season.
Sentinels.
So don't worry. There's plenty more of these highlights to look at.
Yeah.
That's
just from last week.
Fun fact, facts with Pat. I like both of them.
Yeah, definitely can work.
See,
the highlight loops are killing me. Yeah, I mean, that's what you had to see if you're a Pioneers fan all season so far. But let's go ahead and talk about some more positive things other than this, which is the merch store. All right, let me put this up. Oh, actually, no. So let's go ahead and play the merch store thing from Beazle. He has set a store on Redbubble, and you guys will be able to see the products and stuff that are offered right now after this little trailer. I'll pull up the webcam for this as well. So that is the merch store that we got set up currently right now on Redbubble. I'm going to go ahead and pull up. Oh, man.
Yes.
The wrong thing here. Go ahead and pull up the store. Should be showing. Okay, yeah, it's showing right now. So you guys can see this. We got 44 designs up here, man. We even got posters. I literally bought a Drake Crowell poster yesterday.
Go figure.
Bought the GOATs poster.
God.
Hey, man.
I don't have favorite
you guys
teams
already
and
know.
favorite players.
Hey,
I'm
man.
unbiased on
Look
all
at this
fronts.
poster, though. Fire. Shout out to C. Beazle for the designs and everything else, man. Look what we got here. This is for every team. We got floor pillows. We got some posters, like I said. He's not the only one. We got some other posters out there. Season 6 poster right there. You can see got the mug. What is it? Zipper pouch. Friday, man, look at this. Even the stickers. More cups. You guys want to drink out of a team cup? Go ahead and do that. Look at a Romeo Jackson poster. Look at that. Fire with the signature. What is good? And look at this. Even a little water bottle. What else? Another poster. Toronto Huskies posters. You got Hudson and Keith Guyton right here. And you can even look in these designs. Let me look at the poster real fast to show you guys. He even replaced the logos on the players with our new ones. Look at that. That's dope. Even though that's not what the uniforms that we've created and stuff for the future looks like. I mean, that's dope how he's able to put that on there. You get a poster right there of your favorite player. We'll look to drop more, of course. And, yeah, man, so many things right now on this that you guys can get. Got the coasters on deck. C.J. Robinson poster. There you go, Bill. There you go. I didn't even see this Isaiah Ingram poster. This is fire. About to buy another. Jeez. And he just dropped the Ray Franklin poster. Somebody go ahead and tag USR, man. Somebody tag Uncle Sam's Reject. Let him know his player's got a poster right now and it's hard with the bricks in the back. That's fire. In the pads. Let's see what else we got here. Let me see. Explore designs.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going through this to see if we can add some more extra stuff to this too, because there is other stuff available for each team. It's just not very, I don't know, maybe popular stuff, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. Gino Gannon poster.
Can we say something like, I don't know, 1,000 reloads for verified purchases on your first purchase of an RFL store?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
reload for your first purchase. So, yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so 1,000 reloads, guys, for your first RFL purchase, man. Show a verification of that, and we'll give you 1,000 reloads
and
for whatever you buy in the store.
Rocking the merch or whatever you got.
Yeah, rocking the merch.
We want to start posting that stuff around, man.
Yeah, we don't want the receipts. Just post the stuff that you bought. Like take a picture of it wherever whatever, and show us, and we'll give you 1,000 reloads for your first purchase.
Yeah, and what you see right here are the teams. So you can click one of these teams on this tab right here. It says Explore Designs. Every single team has got all the merch that we've shown you. It is getting adjusted a little bit, though. Bill was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna
Yeah,
speak more
so
on
what
that?
you're going to have to do is, for some reason, there's limitations on the amount of collections we can have in the store, and it's not very easy for some reason to put all of the products for one team in one area. So you're going to have to look. Your best bet is to look for the teams based off of the item. So if you're looking to buy a Huskies cell phone case, go to cell phone cases, and then you'll see all the teams there. Same for the coasters, the masks, and everything else. For some reason, like when you click on the collections, it only shows you a select few things that there's to offer. But if you search by the product type, then you'll get to see every team. And there's every team has the same exact stuff available. Stickers for every team, coffee mugs, travel mugs, canvas and metal print. I just added that to a couple of teams. I have to go through and actually add it to like all the teams, but I think that would be really cool to have. There's a whole bunch of stuff available, and it's all there for every single team.
Yeah, and so I see guys asking for it. So that's one thing I forgot to put out. So it's Redbubble. Just look up RFL Shop. You should be able to find us by typing in RFL Shop. Let me see what this says. Yeah, it says redbubble.com/people/RFL Shop. I think that's good enough, and it should take
Why don't
you
you
to
copy
this
and paste that and put that into the
Yeah,
the chat
I'm doing
right
that
now?
right now.
okay, you got it.
Cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, because I don't even have the Discord up. I don't even know where I was going to post. Well, I do
I'm
have
going to post it in the Discord, but I'm also going to post it here in the chat for guys.
Okay, nice. But yeah, so this is not the only merch store that we got right now. I mean, right now we do, but we also have, we were talking about Sector 6. Sector 6 is on the way, man. We were able to fix some of the hoodies and everything. Let's go ahead and get a look at that other merch store, man. You guys have already seen this before with the RFL, just the RFL brand merch with the nice pro hoodie. You got the pro jersey right there. You can even got the flag, a little hat, the hoodie, and stuff like that. But now we've got it. Each one of these teams, shout out to our guys at Sector 6 for hooking us up with this. Every single team has got some merch as well. Not as in depth or as much as what you got here for the main stuff. We'll see what's going on with that in the future. But you can see here, just look at these pro hoodies. I mean, there's some colors we're changing. They're going to be dope. But look at this pro hoodie by the Cougars. Fire. I mean, of course, you got different shades of the regular hoodies and stuff here. It looks like it's just gray and white here, and a couple the same with the t-shirts. Got some with that, as you can see there. That's a dope hoodie because Rob, he's got one. He's got the RFL one, and he said that the quality and everything is fire.
Oh
right?
yeah, pretty good quality.
Great quality, and then you can see like every team right now, for the most part, has one, and we're looking to get a promo code so that you guys can get a percentage off as well. Got to talk more with Sector 6 on that because we did have one, but it went over the time since we had to change some of these, but we'll look to try to get that back to you. But like everyone, all of this right now is coming soon to be available for you guys to purchase. These are fire.
And just I see a couple people asking, no, we don't have jerseys yet, unfortunately. And we're still trying to find a spot to get hats from. Apparently, for some reason, nobody does hats. I don't get it. To me, a hat is like something that we need to have, and we will figure out a way to get it that way. But at this time, we don't have hats for teams, unfortunately, which really sucks. But we'll get there. Give us time. This is all new to us. We're just trying to get everything organized. And, we can only get better if this makes it worthwhile. I'm not trying to make you guys go and buy stuff, but, we need to have some traction to be able to get different things. So, man, go and get your RFL merch, guys. Like, this stuff is here. We're hoping it's here to stay. And,
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm really jealous at some of these teams. The looks here. I do plan. Y'all don't like y'all teams. Y'all don't like y'all teams. Y'all ain't gotta like my team either. But I'm buying merch from everybody's thing, man. Over time, man. Like this stuff is just too fire, man. Like, I'm not even trying to slice it. Like it's my goal to have all 32 collectibles of these teams here. And man, I really would like to get autographs for some of these players in the community on this stuff, man. Because this is just like really, really cool, man. Just looking at this, man. Like, look at this stuff, man. Just awesome. Awesome, man.
This is heat, man. This is heat. It's not changing the colors anymore, but there are different variations of shirts and stuff. And like I said, more stuff coming, man. Let's see the Huskies real quick.
I think the Huskies had the gray, which looked really cool.
That's fire. Y'all gotta get on this. This is not Redbubble. This is Sector6Apparel.com. So can you post this as well, Bill?
Yeah.
So it should be
like this is, hey guys, this is like about the league, man. I'm just gonna let you guys know, man. This is about the league, man. Go to these websites, man. Even if you just get a magnet, just go and shop, man. Get something, whatever's in your budget. Maybe you ask for something for Christmas or something, or your birthday, or whatever it is, man. Do some extra chores around the house or something like that, man. But support the league, man, because this is, like I'm telling you, man, this is a lot of hard work and a lot of failure. I want you guys to know, man. A lot of failure has gone into this, man. And finally, man, what I'm saying, this is up here. Big salute to Beazle. Big salute to the guys at Sector 6, Redbubble, all those people, man. Just salute to just the staff and everybody, man, for just working hard so that we can bring you guys a product that you can actually buy and wear that's ours. You know what I'm saying? Like these logos are ours. So there is no copyright anything on this. And it's ours. So support any team, every team. And that's what's up, man. League first.
Hey, can you check out the Aviators? Back wants to see the Aviators.
Back wants to see the Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were fire. Those were pretty good.
Yeah, I think weren't they? Didn't they have like the gray in there too?
Yeah, gray, baby, blue, and black.
I really like them.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorites. That's fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's a color combination.
Yeah, I love the color combo for the Aviators. Yeah, look at that.
That's fire.
I like that.
Yes, sir. There you go, Justin.
Hey, go to the Bulldogs one, man. I really liked the
Bulldogs.
The Bulldog,
theirs
perfect, man.
Theirs was
Look
great,
at this, man.
There you go, Reed.
Yeah, the Bulldogs were nice too.
Okay, can you click open? Oh yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, look how that looks, man.
Fire!
Look at that. Now that's fire right there.
That's
man.
fire. That's fire.
Yeah, Ramos said he already ordered stuff.
He did.
Right.
Salute to you, man.
Crazy, man.
I'm about to go check that. So you better not be lying there, Ramos.
Yeah, hey, Friday, 2 a.m. Boy, I cannot wait.
Steamers don't got theirs yet.
When that direct deposit hit.
Yeah, direct deposit hit, bonies hit.
Oh
boy.
yeah,
there you go, Reed.
Notebook
I mean, not Reed. Cam,
Yeah.
Coach Cam. Look at that.
Nice.
What did they end up doing for that? Okay. Nice.
Now, Coach Cam, just get you a gold chain and put over that hoodie, man. And now, fire.
Let's go. Did we look at the Bisons? There we go.
That's nice.
I don't think so.
There we go.
And I did confirm it, guys. Ramos already bought stuff.
Nice.
He's gonna be taking his fancy scout notes now in a Cougars notebook.
Yeah, Ray.
I like this Diablos one too.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan at first, but it's growing on me. I like that.
Bro,
I just
these
thought
go
the white
like
was a little off, but I
what
like
type of shoes
these go with every type of J you can think of from
Exactly.
1970
What?
to what?
What? We gotta rock this just for J's. I don't care if you're not a Diablos fan.
Yo, you got to get the old school padded leather joints. Those joints.
Did we look at the Black Knights?
the high tops?
And
They got gray, black, and
man,
red.
Oh,
everybody.
look at those.
I keep seeing people ask about the Explorers, man.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the Explorers. We're looking to try the Explorers one. We're looking to try to. Let's see what the community thinks. Cause you guys are the ones buying it. Do you guys like the black or do you want the white?
Right? The middle of the sweatshirt for the Explorers is black. I think that it would look cleaner with white there instead of the black. You let me know what you guys think, because I feel like it would make everything pop more. But since it's you guys in the community, if we get a majority vote, we'll go with that.
Black. So C-Max says. Jay Moore says, I love the black. I love it, to be honest. McCall. So 3 so far. Looks like they're rocking with the black.
Well, no.
Got Christian with the white. Are you saying no black, Markel?
Yeah, I
like,
don't know what he's saying either. If he's switching to black or if he's saying no black. Or yeah.
thinking the community likes the black.
See, I told you that would be better with Dublin, man. With the white.
Yeah. I like black. Just take my money.
I already did. It looks like everybody's saying black.
Yeah. I honestly think it's good because you guys do have the black pants.
I just thought the white would look so much cleaner, But hey, we'll rock with the black. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna buy it. Don't matter.
Did we look at the chamois?
Yeah, let's look at the Shamrocks.
Shams.
I think that
This
one
would be
is where they have the
with
black.
white.
I told you that, man. See what?
Hey, no cap though, man. This would look really dope with some Peter Pan yutters.
What? My
Get
boy.
out of here.
What?
Spell this
Get
man.
the yutters.
Bell him right now.
Nah, we ain't belling that. He's
Oh, you
speaking
bell it.
facts.
Yeah, the brown with the yutters on. Yay!
Yeah. Nah, you meant it. Let's go
Oh,
ahead. we didn't see the Gunners. Let's look at the Gunners. That's fire.
I can't even right now.
Oh, that's
fire.
dope.
That's
That's dope.
fire.
I like that, man.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, that's fire. That's on point with
yeah.
the colors right there.
See, that's why I wanted the white with the Explorer, so it popped like that.
I
Wow,
don't
that's
know, man.
awesome.
The black, I mean, the black looks solid with y'all. Like this one, I don't know. I mean, with this white, I don't know. But
Does he do like numbers on them on the t-shirts and stuff?
I don't think he
Yeah.
can't. We got to talk more about that. I can't really
Yeah.
confirm or nothing on.
It would be nice if we
now.
could have like the number on the t-shirt of the player, you know what I mean, or whatever.
I think this should be
Or
white.
if it said
too.
like,
What do you guys think? It looks good, black too, I guess.
I think that looks nice. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that these pro hoodies come in either black or white.
Yeah,
I
they
think
the
say
midsection does. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Which one? Okay, it didn't hit the Lancers. Let's see what those look like. Nice.
And for guys wondering, I posted the links for both Redbubble and for Sector 6 in this chat. And I also posted them both in the RFL community in the Discord.
Yeah.
See some guys saying, man, they want to customize those tees, man. Give it old boy, man. Can you just imagine like Brewer and his number up under there? You know what I'm saying? Jackson and his number under there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be awesome, man.
Even though Wizards only here for a year, this is fire.
But we can't do that with Redbubble.
Is this the Vikings?
Looks like it.
That's fire.
Oh wow, it's fire! I like that. That's actually fire, man.
Yeah.
I'd rock that.
I think I reached out. Okay, River Hogs. Did we see those? Nice.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Here we go. And I think this is the only team we didn't see here is the Elks. I like that.
Yeah, the material is really nice too, guys. It's not like the standard hoodie. Well, I'm talking about the first one here with the colors on it. It's not like the standard hoodie with the cotton. Like these are actually like it's kind of like a sleek kind of color, man. I mean,
What did he say?
Texture to
Polyester
it.
or something?
yeah, like a polyester or something like that. They're like kind of like shiny,
Mm-hmm.
silky kind of almost. But it's like really like a really kind of a thick material though. So it's thin, but it's. I know I'm using oxymorons right now, but it's a good solid hoodie, man. Is all I'm gonna say. But it's not like super thick like the old school hoodies are.
Here goes Bulls when I didn't show the Bulls. There goes Bulls. Looks nice with the black. Barons. There you go, Roland. I could just see our coaches rocking these shirts.
Facts.
I'm gonna be rocking this as soon as I can. Like this is like I have a whole idea now. Like I'm gonna have this office and I'm gonna be having a CJ poster up in the corner, maybe an RFL poster over here. I'm gonna have my
Hey, you gotta make a cutscene like in the Madden, when you're in the screen as a coach.
Yeah.
Or your whole setup's that, except with the RFL stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
Yeah.
Benvenue. It's not like a windbreaker. It's like a.
This is fire.
It's almost. It feels like a sweater or like a sweater you're wearing, but it's like one of those thin sweaters, not a thick sweater. You know what I mean? It's still a hoodie, but it fits like slim almost on your body. It's not like a big bulky hoodie like you see in the second shot right here. So yeah, it's a really good stylish fit that actually can just be worn, just as like a shirt, whatever. But the way I had mine like under I had like a pea coat, and I was just had the hood, coming off the back of the coat, and had the coat open or whatever. So yeah, it's a nice material, man. That's all I can say.
Believe I hit every single one. Yep. Touched.
You said the
opened
Desperados?
Every single one of those. Yeah, the Desperados was fire. Did you see it?
Well, we got one more sale now. Somebody just bought a Voyager's travel mug.
This was the
Nice.
Desperados, Rob.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Fire. All right then, man. Told you guys we had big news for you guys in this podcast. And that was all she wrote right there, man. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Right now, we actually are kind of, I guess we got a few minutes for open questions. This is one of the few times in a while since this has been under 2 hours.
Hey, Amir, yeah, that's good. Like activewear, exactly. That's exactly what it's called.
That's a good way to
Activewear.
put it.
That's a good one, man. Activewear. That's exactly what it is.
My bad about the intro plan.
What team will surprise the RFL this year?
Too close
McCafton.
to call right now.
McCafton has got to go ASAP. Well, Charlie Miller, I'll agree with that. Prayer for TJ Gregg, that's for sure. I don't want to make a call yet because there hasn't really been. There's been a few surprises, but now with us switching systems, we really got to see where the pieces fall once everything gets going at the 5.
Yeah.
There you go,
that
Coach
next
Baker.
gen stuff again. They had to pick up that coffee mug, my guy.
How much for my own player poster? That's going to be something that I don't know how we're going to work that because that's like that's not like a copy and paste thing that Beasel's doing. Like he's making them like he would a graphic, and then we're just putting it on a poster. So, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be more coming. I don't know what his plans are with that, so we'll have to see. But I mean, even if it's something basic, that doesn't have to be all sorts of flashy. I mean, he can't throw together. If you get it thrown together, we might be able to just throw it on there. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's just a special buy, we don't have to keep it on there full time.
Yeah. So we'll still working things out and everything on that. But yeah. Any other questions?
Can I change up my? I'm assuming Carlton Sturrogs wants to change up his gear here.
His gear?
Yeah.
Well, he can't do it right now. At this moment, I don't have my PlayStation set up.
He said before the game.
Oh, before? Yeah. Just message me. Let me know what you want.
Yeah, we all know we all want jerseys, guys. We just can't do it right now. Okay, we don't have our own jerseys. We don't have a jersey supplier. This is all coming together piece by piece, and I just hope everybody can be patient with us as we're trying to venture off into these new different ways to bring you guys extra stuff. So we don't have jerseys, we don't have hats yet. We're working on figuring out how we can get it done, but we don't have them right now, and we don't have a lead on them either. So I just don't know what to really tell you guys.
Yeah. Now I know that what's it called? Let me just go back to I know that Sector 6 has, and this was one of the reasons, one of the main things that he reached out about when we got to do this business with him was these jerseys. I believe he said he can have something where he could put names on it. Don't quote me all the way on that, but there might be a way for at least that, but it's not going to be like a jersey that you would get from the NFL. It would probably be something like this with your name on it that matches your team. So we'll have to see what we can do and, request and see if that's possible. But if it is possible, of course, we'll let you guys know right away.
Probably way too early, but when do you anticipate the RFL draft will happen? The RFL draft is happening this July.
Yeah.
It happens every July. Now, starting next year is when it's gonna switch to November.
Mm-hmm. November or December, depending on
Yeah.
One of we don't have an exact date yet, but it's gonna be one of those times.
Hey, Benvenue wants to know if you use halls before you to prep for the games, Smitty.
If I use halls?
Yeah.
Why you say that?
I don't know. He said throat lozenges, but I just try to say Hogs.
Special throat lozenges.
Is that like
How
something?
weird of a question is that?
I think what he's trying to say is like, do you
How are we so
prepare
clear?
by like trying to make sure your throat is nice and clear before the game, like doing like those weird warm-ups, like ah la 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 la.
Oh, no, I don't.
La, 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 la.
But like what I usually do is like if I feel like I'm getting
la.
caught up or something, then I'll just turn off, like I'll mute my mic for a second till I get right, and it won't seem like I like paused.
Well, I just take a dump, drink a whole bunch of water, take a dump, and I'm good, man. Ready to go.
That's great.
Oh.
Excellent.
What's Edward Diggs? What's the deal with Savoy? Think he can turn it around? Is there a way we can see more of the team transactions, ads, drops? Okay, so first question with Savoy. I'm not sure what you mean by the second part of that question. I think I have an idea, but if you could elaborate, that'd be great. But I mean, what do you guys think about Savoy?
You asking us right now, or you?
Yeah, he's asking us.
Okay, yeah. With Savoy, I honestly think he's going to play a lot better on the 5. Honestly, I think the transition over, like I said, I think that the PS4 gameplay really hurt a lot of quarterbacks. The whole reactiveness of the quarterbacks is so different now that even if they don't play good, they'll at least play realistic and not make as many errors on things. And of course, we were working with very low accuracy sliders, and guys were still accurate. But in some cases, like if you did not have abilities, which we're doing away with abilities in terms of accuracy now, you really felt the end of the slider being as low as it was. So, I think he's going to play better I think he's going to play better than he has been in these last 2 games.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, like Smitty said, man, the 5 is the way to go for better overall gameplay out of everybody, not just quarterbacks, everybody, man, linemen, halfbacks, DBs. It's it's just better all the way around, and it's back to the way it used to be. We haven't had I know when we started we had the base sliders when we started, and everybody was like 90%, 100% or whatever, and we wanted to curve that, and so we thought by lowering the slider, even lower, that we would get good gameplay, and we got good gameplay. It's just unrealistic, what I'm saying? And so there's some things that we're doing, and obviously going back to the base slider it works inside of the PS5. The base slider doesn't work inside of Madden PS4 at all. So that's a big deal there. Obviously, the ability thing, Smitty. You've already announced that, right? Removing the ability.
Yeah.
The inside dead eye and all that stuff that's making quarterbacks perfect, and the other quarterbacks are just terrible. So that coupled with the slider change and also just the overall mechanics of the game, that's the biggest one, man. The slider, I'm gonna tell you, man. I kind of think that the slider is gonna work, and all that stuff. The ability definitely not. We've already tested that, but the slider is gonna work however somebody wants it to work. That's that. But the mechanics of the game is going to affect not only just your pleasure, but also the things that you see, the types of decisions that players make, and also even we were talking about just last night, like players are like cutting up field now when they catch balls on curls and stuff like that, or if they just turn around and catch a ball, they're not stopping and thinking about what they got to do for half a second and then turning. Like guys are like getting the ball and out, so that affects things like stats, more yardage in games probably. It's like a lot of things, but you just got to see it, man. I can talk it up for the next 24 hours, man. Tomorrow night you're going to be able to see a clean game, and I'm really glad that we got 2 evenly matched teams coming up tomorrow night.
And the 6:00 game is actually going to be moved to 4 because we can't have it back to back because Rob doesn't have his PS5 yet, so I have to have a game earlier. And then once he gets his PS5, we'll keep on regular time. So let me go ahead and show the schedule once again. So these he's projected to get his PlayStation on Friday.
Yeah, Friday.
Usually don't call Saturday games, so he probably won't be in the booth
I probably
on
won't
Saturday.
No, if I get it Friday, I'm in the booth.
I mean on Saturday.
Got it. On Saturday, yeah.
Okay.
Got to.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so if that's the case, then we both can call that and stuff. So you can expect everything to get normal for the most part. I would say on Saturday. But that first game, that Lancers and Desperados game, will be 2 hours earlier at 4:00. So that way I could take the pictures, do everything else that I need to do, and then roll right into the next one afterwards with at least a little bit of a break to get things prepared and ready before we get that Bulldogs and Black Knights one.
Tavion Hall, I know he's in the chat here. I saw your message about the shirts. If you could, if you want to get with me in the Discord and let me know what that is, man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and also I seen somebody asking, as was it NP Dragon Rage, says I submitted a player about a week ago. Does it take like a few weeks or longer? You're already in. Once you submit it and it says that you've paid, we've already got your application. So
I just did players like 2 days ago for an update on the prospect list. So you should go and check your email for a Discord link. Probably going to be expired at this point because I only do them for 24 hours. But if you don't see one there, then just send me a message on the website chat, and I will get to it as soon as I can.
And shout out to Reed. He said he just ordered a pro hoodie for his team, man. Make sure you send me a picture. You rocking it, man. That's gonna be dope.
Who's Little Known Perfection?
That's Colton Scruggs.
Oh, it's Scruggs. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on in his locker room? He says, I know y'all see my locker room. I just be chilling.
Oh, it's probably dry in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like nobody in there.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
No users. So let's probably ask about 1 or 2 more questions before we bounce. Anybody's got anything else? What's the deadline for adding a player? The deadline is at the end of the regular season. So once the regular season ends, then we'll close the applications.
Scruggs wasn't lying either, man. Boy, oh boy.
In months.
Did you guys see what I posted before in the chat this morning about that fan message we got on the website?
Mm-mm.
So we got some guy, somebody messaged the website saying that the Steamers should trade Reed Wagner to the Huskies for a second round pick and Hudson, I think it was, because that's the Huskies are his favorite team and he wants them to win a Reload Bowl, so the Steamers should just give up Wagner.
I
just thought that was funny.
It's terrible. That is terrible. I hope he's not in here listening. But
yeah, come on. Yeah, bring old Wag over to the ARC North, man. We love interceptions.
All right, King. I'm relying on you guys, man, because I'm out here in this little tiny town in Wisconsin, man. We don't if there's any kind of councils out there, I guarantee you they are not making their way to little old Manitowoc.
But that looks like that's all right now for the questions. With that all being, of course, it for this one. Appreciate you guys showing up and, of course, supporting the RFL. Of course, love your action and everything in the merch store. It looks like, now that you guys seen it, you guys going to, support and start gearing out with the RFL stuff, man. Can't wait. Make sure to send me a picture if you get some stuff of all the stuff that you ordered so we can start posting that on our social media. But with that being said, the other thing, like Rob said, you'll get if you purchase something, we'll give you 1,000 reloads in the Discord for your first purchase. So we appreciate you for that. But with that being said, man, that's going to do it here for us, man. Bill, Rob, and me, we're out. Peace.